Hey guys, Drifter here. Today I want to share with you the top 3 games, and really only 3 games, that I'm excited about at the moment. With E3 coming up, I'm hoping for juicy, delicious news about any of these games, and we're going to be going in reverse order today, starting off with number 3. My number 3 game should be no surprise to anybody who's watched this video for the last 30 seconds. It's Doom Eternal. Doom was one of the very first shooting games that I ever played in my entire life. I played Doom 1, I played Doom 2, I played Doom 3, I played Doom on Game Boy Advance, Doom on N64, Doom on Xbox Original, and the Doom 2016 remake, reboot, whatever you want to call it, and I genuinely enjoyed almost all of them. Even the survival horror one on the original Xbox was a little bit weirder and not doomy, but it was still a good and fun game. But man, Doom 2016 was a masterpiece of a game that bucked every big annoying trend at the time. We got a 30-hour campaign full of non-stop demon slaying and metal music, the soundtrack for which I still have on vinyl and I play during breakfast sometimes. It had a good story, but ultimately an optional one. You don't care about stories, you don't want dialogue, that's fine. You can walk past all the people talking and just go straight to demon killing. You want a complex story with lots of lore and stuff, there's all sorts of things to read and explore. We had no multiplayer at all. Every game in the world, even games that just want to be single player games or forced that had multiplayer to it these days, they were like, screw that, we're not going to do that. No stupid microtransactions at all. DLC was truly a bonus add-on, a bonus to the campaign. It continued the story after you think it's already done, and it wasn't essential to the game whatsoever. And the game launched in an insanely polished and smooth state that didn't require a whole bunch of updates to make good. It was just good from the get-go, and it was legitimately fun to play from start to finish, despite the fact that Doom should be insanely repetitive because all you do is kill cyber demons and execute them. But it was fast, it was smooth, there was tons of variety in both the executions and the gameplay, so it kept me hooked the entire time. Enter Doom Eternal. This is everything that Doom 2016 was, but bigger, better, faster. We got dash moves. We got a grappling chain that you can grapple to demons or walls or whatever the heck. We got demons invading Earth, so we get to fight in an urban hellscape. We got more demons than ever before, bigger demons than ever before, more intense fights, more flying, more platforming, more crazy stuff, more ways for them to murder you and rip your guts out, and more executions that you can do on them with a chainsaw as well. So all I can say is sign me up. The story of Doom is getting much more interesting as well. We'll be picking up with the Doomslayer and exploring his background a little bit more. Even one of the fellow Doomslayer ancients shows up in the trailer, and it got me all kinds of hyped. And the game looks absolutely amazing to me, and I think that this is a game that's gonna suck me in and fully entertain me for the 30 or 40 hours that it takes to beat it, and you should 100% expect a playthrough of Doom Eternal this fall right here on this channel. Even though single player games aren't normally my thing, I really want to play that one. My number 2 game is another popular title that's also a single player game, Cyberpunk 2077. This one is right up my alley because, believe it or not, when I'm not making YouTube videos, I do enjoy RPG adventure type games. And of course shooters. So naturally I used to play a lot of Fallout back in the day, so an RPG shooter like Fallout, maybe created by CD Projekt Red, the team that made The Witcher, got me very excited. I also love Cyberpunk. I like futuristic, cyberpunk, steampunk, future stuff a lot more than fantasy. I don't know why. I love Ghost in the Shell. I read the original Neuromancer. I love The Matrix, all those kinds of works. So this one has me hyped. Cyberpunk 2077 will have a massive city to explore, like a real-size Los Angeles. It's got what's already an interesting story that you can watch, a huge upgrade tree, one that largely is outside of traditional classes. You're not just like, I am the gun guy, I am the upgrade guy, I am the definitely not magic guy. No, it's totally different, non-traditional, mix and match, non-classes. And your upgrades change the way your character look. You have a story that changes based on your decisions. or a story that changes based on your background and your character changes. So you don't just start this game as generic guy number 47, go forward. You build a background for your character, and based on your character's fictional background, those are your starting stats and abilities and starting point in the story, which is just mind-blowing to me. The game seems to have at least double, if not triple or quadruple the depth of The Witcher. The sheer scale, the audacity, the high hopes that the developers have for this game are just, it's like, I want to grind it up and snort it. It looks so amazing. The team was also sure to include the original tabletop game master in the decision-making process because it's based on an old-school pencil and paper role-playing game, and they wanted to bring that guy on board and make sure that everything was legitimate and on track and looking good, and that it's actually an RPG and not just a looter shooter, which is really fun. But they're also focusing hard on making sure that it's still a decent shooter as well, that it's not clunky like Fallout, or that the controls are bad, or that you're forced to use abilities all the time like VATS, that you can actually play this game from the first person in a satisfying manner. And given the developer's past, I think that we will see a solid and mostly bug-free release of the game, probably with no microtransactions, and then probably some free DLC on top of that, and some modestly priced regular DLC if The Witcher is anything to judge this based on. Even though multiplayer games are really my focus at the moment, I am 100% ready to give my body up to the world of Cyberpunk and just let it absorb me and take me in. And you should expect a lot of videos about this game when it actually comes out. I know that kind of like when Red Dead 2 came out, a lot of non-traditional Red Dead channels just went full Red Dead. That's what you're going to see from me on Cyberpunk. I skipped Red Dead, but I am not skipping Cyberpunk. And finally, my number one game, the one game that I want to play more than anything else, is something very unusual, but it's one that I already played a little bit and it has me completely hooked. Sayonara Wild Hearts. I got to play 10 minutes of this game at PAX East and I was 100% sucked in. Like a fish that just loved being hooked, I just couldn't stop playing the game. It was in my head. I tweeted about it being the best at PAX. And to be honest with you, it's barely even a game. You use like the stick a little bit and maybe 2 buttons the entire time you play, but it's more like playing a musical experience. It's more like playing through a fever dream. It feels like Scott Pilgrim the game, but legally, totally, definitely not a Scott Pilgrim game. It's a musical, rhythmic adventure that you go on to, and I'm going to show some gameplay here that isn't mine. Another YouTuber by the name of Handsome Phantom, who is the only person on YouTube that I could find that had the PAX gameplay, probably the only person in the world that has it. I'm going to share a lot of their gameplay. Huge shout out to their channel. Please subscribe to them. Please don't give me a strike for showing a little bit of the stuff you recorded. But I don't know how to describe this game, so I'm going to read to you how the developers attempted to describe their very own game. Sayonara Wild Hearts is a pop album video game. It is a euphoric music video dream about being awesome, riding motorcycles, skateboarding, dance battling, shooting lasers, wielding swords, and breaking hearts at 200 miles per hour. As the heart of a young woman breaks, the balance of the universe is disturbed. A diamond butterfly appears in her dreams and leads her through a highway in the sky where she finds her other self, the masked biker called the Fool. And I know right now a lot of your guys' heads are exploding and you're thinking this whole video is one giant troll video, that I've completely lost my mind and that maybe the testosterone treatment isn't working, but I promise you this game has me excited. I was legitimately very happy to play it. It was bright, it was colorful, colors on the spectrum I can see as well, lighthearted, fun, low stress, musically and visually interesting. It told a sort of neat story going on, and I just actually fell in love with this little Nintendo Switch game. And I don't care how many of you think that it's not a manly game. It's probably really not a manly game, but that doesn't mean that I can't enjoy it. And there will definitely be a full playthrough of Sayonara Wild Hearts on this channel as well, no matter how many salty COD people dislike it. That's a game that I'm legitimately looking forward to. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something useful. If you did, don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe, and enjoy a few short clips at the end so I can shamelessly pad this to over 10 minutes long and increase my YouTube revenue. Drifter out.
Sonic the Hedgehog needs better CGI. Paramount Pictures is out of money. We're raising money so that Paramount Pictures can actually make Sonic look not stupid again. Hey, Sonic the Hedgehog needs better CGI. We're raising raising money today. We gotta get better CGI for Sonic the Hedgehog because Sonic deserves better. He is a classic gaming character. He was a fundamental part of my childhood, and he doesn't need teeth or uncomfortably large quads. See, with these $2 American, put them in my hands, we can already make better CGI. Huh? Right, the eye I'll work on, and we'll improvise it. That's what the eye stands for.
You gotta be kidding me.
Alright. All you have to do is land in the hole.
Oh no.